I definitely had some things happen that I could never imagine in my wildest dreams, and I had to appreciate those and believe that big things are possible. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, the #1 place for entrepreneurs, where I give you the keys you need to succeed. Today is a very special day because I just had my birthday and I turned 31. So today we're actually going to talk about 30 things that I learned during year 30. 30 was definitely a crazy year for me. It was very, very busy. My business grew a ton. I actually got married, and there was just a lot of personal growth that I went through. So I'm anxious to talk about it with you all. Some of the things I'm going to explain, some of them are self-explanatory, and then some of them are a little bit personal, so I'll just stay on the surface level. But either way, it's going to be a fun time, so let's jump into it. #1, I learned that not everything is in my control, and that was probably my biggest lesson of year 30. I had a lot of things planned out that I had to realize were just not in my control. I can't control everybody. There's some things even within myself that I can't control, and my biggest lesson by far was everything is not in your control. You have to let things go sometimes. #2 would be to live in the moment. Now that's piggybacking off of #1. Like I said, I learned that I can't control everything, so I definitely had to learn to let go and just live in the moment and enjoy the things that I could actually enjoy during year 30. #3, do not delay enjoying your life. Like I said, I'm such a planner that sometimes I will delay gratification and enjoyment of my life until I hit certain goals, and I had to realize that I could not do that anymore. #4, embrace big moments as they come. Like I said, I was getting married and I had a lot of big moments, marriage, honeymoon, and I actually had to step back for a minute and realize that I wasn't enjoying my moments to the fullest because I was so worried about what was coming next or what had just happened. So I really had to step back and enjoy those moments as they came. #5, cherish those around you. Now this is one that's self-explanatory, but I always had to remember to cherish the people around me, especially with a wedding and so many people traveling. It really made me realize how many people were in my corner and how I definitely have to appreciate that more. #6, believe that big things are possible. Now, there were some pretty cool things and cool moments that happened during year 30. I almost said during 2021. With my birthday so close to the beginning of the year, sometimes I just think about it as the year, but I definitely had some things happen that I could never imagine in my wildest dreams, and I had to appreciate those and believe that big things are possible. It encouraged me to dream bigger. #7, surround yourself with people that are gonna push you. Who is in your corner, your tribe, is definitely very important, and I had to realize that I needed to surround myself with people who are kind of going in the direction that I was going. Not to say I had to cut people off, because I'm not about cutting people off. It's nothing like that. But this lesson was in particular about my career field and surrounding myself with people who could push me to get to the next level. Speaking of, #8, consistency is key. Now I've talked about consistency a lot on this channel. You can see that in pretty much every other video, but I definitely had to learn that consistency makes a big difference in what I do. #9, don't overcomplicate things. Now, this lesson was very funny. I actually had a friend who told me, you're stressing yourself out unnecessarily because you're overcomplicating something that you can literally get done in 2 seconds. And that was for sure the issue. So I had to learn with a lot of things in my life, don't overcomplicate it, just get it done. #10, keep the end goal in mind. Now with so much going on in such a hectic year, it would be easy for me to lose sight of my end goals and some of the bigger things that I hadn't accomplished, but I definitely had to ground myself and remind myself what I was working towards. #11, your environment makes a difference. Now that's kind of goes with me saying surround yourself with people who are gonna push you, but I also mean my physical environment. I definitely realize that I work better in certain environments, that I work better in certain atmospheres, and that could be as simple as something as making tea or lighting a candle to just push myself to get in the mindset of working or whatever I was doing. #12, take care of yourself like you are your child. Now, there is a lot of times in entrepreneurship where we get so busy that we forget to do something as simple as brush our hair or wash our face or feed yourself and just eat. Now, I had to step back and say, okay, if you had a child, would you be letting your child go all day without eating? No, you would not. So definitely had to learn the lesson of taking care of myself a little bit better. Number 13, remember where you came from. Now that's self-explanatory. Remember where you came from. Don't lose sight of your roots. Number 14, be compassionate to others and their situations. Now, compassion is one of my favorite words. I like to think that I'm very compassionate, but sometimes when you're working towards your goals or you're working towards something big, you kind of lose sight of what other people are going through. I definitely had to learn the lesson of compassion and making sure that you're there for others even though you're working towards something big. Number 15, lead with love, and that goes along with just being compassionate. I do think that sometimes I lose sight of why I'm doing what I'm doing and the fact that I love working with kids. I love teaching dance. So I had to kind of put that more on the front end of what I was doing this year. And that goes along with number 16, which is show up to serve. Now, I'm not saying don't make money, don't be profitable, but you also need to make sure that you're giving good quality education, content, whatever you're doing in your business, and really serve the people who trust you. Number 17, remember your why. Like I said, I really had to remember, why do I love to do this? Why am I going through all of this heartache, headache, growing pains of business? And remind myself of the reason why I do what I do. Number 18, you live many lives within your life. So this is actually from a TV show, but it just helped me realize that sometimes it's difficult to let go of things. There's going to be plenty of times when you have to reinvent yourself, and it's not always a bad thing. You can actually mourn the person that you were, but you have to realize that in your lifetime, you will change tremendously from step to step, and that's okay. Now, piggybacking on that, everyone is not meant to go with you into your next life. So don't be sad if you're outgrowing your friends or your family or people that you've been close with for a really long time. You have to realize that just because you're in a different place in life does not mean you're better than them, does not mean that you're worse off than them. You're just at a different place, and that's okay. Number 20, invest in your health and body. Now, when I hit your 30, stuff starts falling apart, stuff starts hurting. And this isn't just to be vain, health-wise, you have to make sure that you're fueling your body for what you need to do. I definitely had to realize that a cheat meal is probably gonna have more repercussions than a lot of things. And I had to make sure that I was being healthy with myself, my food, my vitamins, my joints, my body, just really taking care of myself better. Number 21, realizing that people are not against you, they're just for themselves. Now, it's very easy to kind of get in your feelings when people are not doing things to accommodate you or to help you out. Or it might seem like they're against you or they're trying to actually hurt you, but you have to realize that everyone is just trying to run this race, okay? Everyone is just in this crazy pandemic time, trying to make things work the best way that they know how. And it's important to just remember that people are not against you. People are probably not even thinking about you like that, so keep that in mind. All right, number 22, write the vision and make it plain. Now, I know that you all have heard this before. This is one of the first years that I've actually had my vision board up. It's on my wall right here. And I will say that I hit a lot of goals that I probably wouldn't have been thinking about. I was really adamant about writing down my goals almost every day, every single morning, writing down my top 5 general goals, which are just things like, successful marriage, happy and healthy family and friends, things like that. And then along with 3 goals that I'm working towards at the moment. And I promise you that made such a huge difference in what I was trying to accomplish. Number 23, give yourself what you need. There are some times where you have to just listen to your body, listen to your heart and your mind, and give yourself what you need to get through the moment. But number 24, still push yourself to be the best that you can in that moment. Really just listen to yourself, but don't be lazy either, okay? Number 25, everyone does not show love the way that you do. Now, I know you all have heard about the 5 love languages, but that can even be expanded to business relationships, friendships. You have to realize that everyone does not show love, hate, anger the same way that you do. Just because someone may be coming off angry, that might be their way of dealing with something, or that might be how they, are just living in the moment. You have to realize that everyone's emotions are not your emotions, and you really have to just take things with a grain of salt. Number 26, ask for help when you need it. Now, the Capricorn in me is screaming. Don't like asking for help, but I definitely had to realize it's okay to do that this year, especially with my team growing. I had to really just get out of the mindset of doing everything myself and kind of just delegate a little bit more, which is on my vision board, it says delegate. But, and just ask for help and ask for what you need from people. Now, with that, number 27, make your expectations and your standards clear. Now, it's funny because with me, I pretty much hear something one time and I'm able to implement it, but when you're coaching, when you're leading, you have to really set those boundaries, expectations, and standards and reinforce them. And don't feel bad about having to do that. Number 28, don't complain without taking action. Now, it is so easy to sit there and complain about a place that you are in your life, about things that are not going your way. But unless you're doing everything in the moment that you can, everything to push yourself to get out of that situation or into that situation, you really shouldn't be complaining. And I realized I was wasting a lot of time complaining when I could have been working towards what I needed. Number 29, be aware of your influence. Now, I'm not just saying on social media, I'm saying in life in general. Be conscious of how you're affecting other people, good and bad, and just make sure that you're showing up as your best self. And number 30, be kind. Now, I posted this on Instagram a lot. If you follow me, you've probably seen some memes about just being kind. But I think just especially in this time that we're in this pandemic, a lot of people are going through things that you would never even realize. And it's so important to just be kind and keep in mind that you never know what other people are going through. And that's it, guys. Those are my 30 lessons that I learned in year 30. I was definitely excited to share them with you all. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn your post notifications on. Visit my website, asiaonline.com, and in the meantime, follow me on Instagram at AsiaCarp. All right, guys, have a great day and successful life. I will see you next time.